Hey guys, Johnny from Climax here, bringing you an Kill a Kill deck tech. It's the Sisters build, so red blue with a splash of yellow. So let's get started. So at level 0 we have 3 runners. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can move her to the center. So she's a pseudo runner, but she's 2/5. So with a Mako assist, she's running 3k, which is pretty good. Just helps to get you hit to level 1 before your opponent, and she stays on the field like every runner. So 3 Senketsu's level reversers. On play, give a character with a marker 1000 power, and his second effect is level reverser. So he can pump up your level 3s late game, and early game he just gets over your opponent's huge level 0s. 2 of these Satsuki's on play. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a closed character, she gets 2000 power. So at level 0, she becomes 4/5, which is pretty big. And late game, she's a top check without a demerit, unlike Lays on Sofa or something like that. I have one of these Ryuko Brainstormers. What she does is she has a bond to pay 2 to salvage the Red Gauntlet event. But her brainstorm is pay 1, mill 4 for every climax you hit. Give one of your close characters 2000 power. So just a spammable brainstorm. It's there for when you need it. Then I have 3 of these global Makos. What she does is 500 all close and family characters, and your character in the center slot can't be targeted for effects. So no bounce or anti-changes or anything like that on your center characters. So she's really good. Then we have 2 of these Satsuki Brainstormers. First effect is if your opponent has 2 or less characters in the front row, she gets 1000, so she becomes a vanilla power. And her second effect is pay 1, rest 2, mill 4 for every climax hit, draw a card. So I don't know why she's rest 2 to draw, but it's whatever, it's kill a kill. And then lastly, what I think is the best card in the deck, Deep Bonds Ryuko. On play, you can ditch a climax and salvage a card. And her second effect is when another character gets reversed, give one of your characters 1000 power. So nice little revenge effect. Helps you keep a field up so your opponent can't just nuke your entire field. But she's mainly in here because after refresh, you're pretty compressed with all your markers and whatnot, so you have this to get rid of all your climaxes that you're drawing. Or if you get climax screwed early on, she's a really good card to have in your hand. So that's 3, 6, 9, 11, 14, 17 level 0s. Moving on to level 1, we have 4 of these Satsuki's, 1045 on play. You can take a Jinketsu from your waiting room, put on her as a marker, and she becomes 6k. So 106k, she's a good costless beater. And she compresses you by 1. Then we have 4 of these 1045 Ryukos. She combos with the gate. And it's interesting that when she attacks at level 1 or at any level, she just gets 4.5. But if you're level 2 or higher, she gets another ability with the gate, and that's when she attacks, you can choose a character from your opponent's waiting room and put it on the top of their deck. So early on, she gets over your opponent's big characters, and late game, she helps the top deck for hopefully game. Then I have 1 of these Senketsu Searchers. He's just on play, pay 1, drop 1, search. It's sad that he's a level 1, but what can you do? For my Jinketsus, I have 1 red and 3 blues. The reason being is I really need to go through my deck before level 2. So 3 Jinketsus is necessary. What people don't realize is that they think, oh, he refreshed before level 2, he can't get his Satsuki's out, but that's actually what I want. In my deck, I try to get through my deck at level 1, So at level 2, I can have more deck to work with and not refresh as I hit level 2. So that's why I run 3 instead of 2. So that is 4, 8, 12, 13 level 1s. And then at level 2, I have one of these Red Gauntlet events, just a generic cost 2, salvage 2 event. I don't really play it that often, that's why I only have it 1, because at level 2 you're either playing Satsuki's or you're saving stock to play level 3s. I have 2 of these Ryuko assists, 2-1, 1000 fronts. When you, on play, you can pay 2 and salvage a character. I don't really use that effect often, she's just mainly in here for 1000 front. I have tried the global 1000, but that card comes out rested, so if I were to, say, push my Brainstormer up and play that assist, she comes out rested, so I can't Brainstorm the same turn I played it, and I just much rather play this card. Then I have one of these Senketsu backups. It's a pay 1, 2/5 backup, and when you use the backup, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a close or family, or family character, you get an extra 1000. So 3/5 character backup. It's nice because you can salvage it. And lastly, for level 2s, I have 2 of these Satsuki's. She gets 500 for every other close characters. So with a full field, she becomes 2195. She is a good alternative to if you don't get your level 3 Satsuki's off early. So that's why she's in here. So that is 6 level 2s. And moving on to level 3, the card that I keep talking about, Satsuki. Her effect is if you have 3 of these 2k1s in your waiting room, she gets -1 level in your hand, so she comes out at level 2. And if you get her off, she helps you stay at level 2 for quite some time. And also on play, you can put a Junketsu under her as a marker, and she gets 1/5. So she's oversized, comes out early, and also she heals on play. So really good card. She keeps you at level 2 for a while. She's pretty problematic, especially if you have her in the center and a Mako behind her. Then she can't be targeted for bounces or anti-changes or anything, and she also compresses you, so just overall really good card. And then for lastly, for level 3s, I have 2 of these Ryukos. She's a pretty crazy card. On play, you remove from play, send to memory a Junketsu, and you put a Senketsu underneath her as a marker. Then, whenever she is reversed in battle, you can pay 1, reveal a close character from your hand, and put it underneath her as a marker, and then she rests. Her last ability is at the beginning of your encore phase, you can pay 2 and burn your opponent for damage equal to the number of markers you have underneath her. So she's a pretty insane card. She can't really die as long as you have a hand and stock, but she's also very situational. Rarely have I ever really used her burn for game, but when I do, you get some style points out of it. So that's only 6 level 3s. And for the climaxes, of course, there is the 4 gates and 4 2k1s. So on to how I play the deck. Alright, so at level 0, you want to play this runner out and possibly a Mako behind her. So now she is a 3000 pseudo runner. So really good card to have opening hand. If you can't run over something, there is this Satsuki and this Senketsu to help you. Level reverser and a 4/5 on play essentially. And also you want to have at least one of these Brainstormers in your back row at all times. Like I said, my deck likes to go through refresh before it hits level 2. So she's essential to helping that be achieved. At level 1, you want to play as many of these Junketsus as possible. Of course, not just openly with this one. So you can play these Satsukis. So then they're already compressing you by 1 when they come out onto the field. And maybe one of 2 of these Ryukos with its Climax, just in case you can't run over anything they have on the field. At level 2, you want to push this Satsuki up. And like I said, if I were to use the 2-1 global that comes out rested, if I were to push this up, I can't brainstorm that same turn. So with this, I can play this and then still brainstorm that exact same turn and get one last use out of the Satsuki. So if you didn't get the Climaxes out for level 3 Satsuki, there is the level 2 Satsuki, like I said, as a backup plan. She hits pretty high numbers, but honestly, you want to get these Satsukis out. They heal, they compress you, and they just are beat sticks. And then lastly, at level 3, to try to go for game with its wonky effects, one Ryuko. You can always play the level 1 to get some top checks off and possibly burn for precise damage, but it's pretty situational. And yeah, that's basically the deck. Pretty simple. Level 0, run over their stuff. Level 1, run over more stuff, compress yourself. And level 2, just drop Satsukis to keep yourself at level 2, and then level 3, use shenanigans with Shuriko. Like I said, the deck really focuses on brainstorming, playing Junketsus, getting through your deck before you hit level 2, so you don't hit that awkward moment of hitting level 2 and then refreshing and having no blue Climaxes in your waiting room. So yeah, that's the deck. I guess I can go into some alternatives now. Alright, so some alternatives for level 0 is this Pure Armor Riko. What she does is every character, close character that or family character that attacks before her, she gets 1,000. So she can essentially become a beat stick. Another card I see people running is this Nui Pulling Thread. On play, if your opponent has 1 or less characters on their field in their front stage, you can minus 3,000 power. So most of the time, she often kills them. If not, they become like 500 power, and then she's 1/5. So if they're not at least 5,000, she will kill them most likely. She also snipes runners, and oftentimes most people only have 1 character in the front row anyway. So she's a pretty decent card. Another card is this guy. If you have him in the back row, you can rest 2 characters and then give something 2,000 power. So just an extra power boost if you want it. And then for level 1s, there is this Ryuko and the Satsuki. The Satsuki is just 1,000 power on your opponent's turn, so 106k, another one. And this Ryuko is Accelerate. You can clock yourself 1 at the beginning of your Climax phase, and she gets 3/5. She is a pretty good card, but overall, I just like the I just think these Junketsu one is better than this one, obviously, and I was using this one, but I just value the gate combo too much now to actually put her in again. But she's not a bad card. She's just overshadowed by the level 1. And the card I was talking about, the 2/1 assist, she comes in rested because I guess she's oversized, so she has a demerit. But she is a global to all your clothes and family characters. No, just clothes. And she has a Climax combo that she can basically come out onto the center stage standing. But if you use her, you mainly use her for the global 1,000. But like I said, she comes in rested, so she kind of conflicts with the Satsuki Brainstormer, but that's just player preference. But yeah, there's not much alternatives to a red-blue Kill la Kill deck. It's pretty standard. The set's pretty eh. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. It's just, I feel like it's just missing some things, and it's just, they were being a little too experimental with some of the effects, and I think it just came out wrong. Like, most of the searchers are on reverse, or on waiting room search. So, yeah. It's sad, because I really like the anime, but it's still a fun deck. If it goes off really well. If it doesn't, then, oh well. So yeah, that's the deck, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you later.